Today, we have the top 100 defenders in all of FC 24. It's gonna get controversial. Beautiful people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to these parts, it's free to subscribe. We have Broken, Rank 1, Foot Champs, Debatable, and the Pine, and we're actually well over 100. Acuna Matata. I love him as a center mid or a holding mid, but this is a defensive video and he's not big enough to be a center back and he's not really fast enough to be a true fullback. Adama Traore. The pace and the physicality. He's not the best defender, not the best positioning, but most of us at this point are overlapping, shoving it down the wing. He could fit into that. Alaba, I still like him, would probably prefer him as a center mid or even a center back. You could play him as a center back, still weekend league supported from yours truly. If we're missing any players, use the comments, I'll get back to you. Alexander Arnold.
Alexander Arnold, wow! Oh, my goodness me.
I'm conflicted. Again, we're talking as a fullback? Maybe he's more in the debate. If you need a center mid, now we're talking. Araujo, Foot Champs for sure. Maybe even rank 1. I'm trying to get a little into the nitty gritty. We're being specific, we're being harsh because I know what's coming. Bacha, still good to go. There's better left backs. That might be controversial for many of you. I know how well she is received, liked, appreciated, supported. I get it. Baresi, Pine, sorry. DeMarcus, I don't like doing it, especially with a hero. Pine, Laurent Blanc, he's getting caught up to, but the GP, I'm a man of principle. Bon Pastor, Broken. I refuse to go anywhere else. She has been phenomenal for yours truly. I mean, an absolute blessing. One of the best left backs in the game, and her price tag is affordable. Bonucci, he's gotten caught up to. I'm putting him into the debate. I don't want to say that he's unusable. He hasn't made that Pine segue. Not yet. Brema, Foot Champs for sure. Bright is highly overpriced. I'm giving her Foot Champs. She got multiple play styles, but she's undersized. She's not really that meta. But the stats are the stats, and she's stuffing up a bunch of them. Cafu to the top. I think for many of you, best right back in the game, or at least in that conversation. Camavinga, this might be a hot take. I like him as a center mid. I don't really like him as a fullback. I've done this on multiple occasions. If anything, I might even put him into the Pine. I didn't enjoy it. I think he feels too bulky. The facilitation is lackluster. The chase back, the recovery is not great. But if we're talking about as a center mid or a holding mid, my entire viewpoint and lens would shift. Sol Campbell, I am an open disliker or a hater. I know that a lot of you love him. I understand. I don't like him. Cancelo, still good enough for the weekend for sure. Confident, composed on the ball. Could be better defensively. I think that's the reality. Balde, I think he's into the debate. We have too many good right backs and left backs. What makes this item unique is that he can play either authentically. Cannavaro, and I'm not happy about this. He's better than the Pine, but he's not really even weekend league prepped at this point. Capdevia, we need an upgrade. This 86 is no longer in the rotation. He's not in the cookbook, and I've enjoyed using him. We were chefing it up. Roberto Carlos, I almost always put into Broken, but I might be leaning on a rank 1. We're getting upgrades. We've had team of the year. That could have some movement. Carlos Alberto, not quite Cafu good, but I like that you can play him as a center back and a fullback. Santa Claus, I got a lot of love for him. I got confidence. I've used him a lot this year. Used him a lot last year. Ashley Cole, arguably the best left back to do it in the Premier League. I think that's a clear case. Cordoba, I can't get down with the undersized center back. Generally speaking, that's not been the wave. He's going to the Pine. Is it a little disrespectful? Sure, I understand. Quadrado, good vibes. Real fun item to use. In some ways, has that Adama Traore. He's not as physical, but his overlapping capabilities, the skill moves, the flair, the facilitation. If you play with the overlaps and you play with fullbacks that you need to take that attacking space, he's one of the best to do it in the game. Defensively, you might have some questions, but I think he'll surprise you. He's kind of making a case, a little bit of a sprinkle for rank 1. Quadrado, for me, has been on the up and up, and the value, fantastic for what you're paying. Dante, new Team of the Year nominee item. Seen him in action multiple occasions now. Looks good. Very physical. Good body type. A little bit of that Brazilian action. Darmian might be slightly slept on, but he's not getting out of the debate. Alphonso Davies. I didn't love the price tag. Still don't love the price tag, but he's probably making a case for rank 1. Just from the athleticism, the sheer end-to-end goodness that you're going to get, he's probably in that combo. DeMarcos, we're not jumping off the bandwagon for an inform. Not at this case. Desai, As a center back, he's good. Really good. The physicality is just undeniable. Brute strength. Not fun to go up against on the defensive end. My biggest gripe, if you heard the butt that was coming, his facilitation and turning is sus. It's kind of sluggish. He doesn't have what you would need to get out of the back with ease with some of that extracurricular, that class in that grass. I'm not meaning to rhyme scheme, but that's where we're at. Serginho, I don't know that you're using him. I don't like putting him in the pine. De Lorenzo is kind of an Italian Kyle Walker, if you like that look and that comparison. Diego Carlos, just due to the competition, I'm downgrading him. Normally it would be weekend league. He never lived up to it for yours truly. He was always doing enough, and I kind of kept him in that conversation, but he wasn't knocking socks off, breaking down doors, intercepting, and just standing out. He wasn't standing on all 10. DeMarco, I've used him a lot. I don't know that I'm proud about that, but he has gotten into enough teams. Typically, I play him as a center back. Dodo's still got to be at least weekend league. That man is so impressive for the time that he was released. I guess the upgrades that he received, the price tag, if you got in at the right time, you're not going to complain about what he's given you. Eder Militao, still rank 1 for yours truly. Eriksson, I'm sorry, that's going to be a no-go. The new Rio Ferdinand to the top. How does he not get there? He has to be there. Frimpong, same situation. Fastest fullback in the game. The man is zooming side to side. The track back is disgusting. The way that he can open up a match for you, good things are coming your direction. I also included his Thunderstruck just to get you an option that's a lot more affordable. I would put him into Foot Champs. Gunter, and I think he's kind of slept on. He doesn't have a big name. I'm going to put him into the debate. Depends what kind of team you're building, but I'm just saying. Gomez, still been making rotational moments in my squads. It's difficult because we're looking at the best defenders in the game. No price points, no limitations. This is not a value list. If we're just talking about what you're paying and what you're receiving, Gomez, trajectory, it's up here. Grimaldo, I love him. I think he's superb this year. Sublime, big factor with all the success at Bayern Leverkusen. He's basically got 80s across the board. It's hard for me. Guardiola for the weekend, for sure. Havertz, I think he's made it into rank 1. There's something special about this individual. We might have some early movement. I'm already struggling. Frimpong, Grimaldo, Gomez. I'm having an internal reflection here. Even Cuadrado, I really like him. Araujo's given us a pretty consistent year. Hector Bellerin, I guess we're downgrading. You could use him in the weekend. I just don't. He's not better than Frimpong. That's kind of where I'm at. Teo Hernandez to the top. Has to be. Lucas Hernandez, I don't like him. That's simply the review. I'm not impressed, regardless of the stats. Isak the Swede, we're talking upgrades with the perps. I'm still putting him in the pine. I never see this man in any sort of rotation. Hierro, I'll throw him into the debate. He scored a lot of goals throughout his career as a defender, just on a side note, but it is somewhat of a related stat. Same with Hummels. I think he could surprise you. We just have a lot of options. So much depth for defenders at this point. James, I am a fanboy. He's one of my favorite fullbacks in the game. Would highly recommend. I don't know what his price tag is at the moment, but if you pay it, you will not regret it. That's the takeaway. Nava's got that whipped pass, but he's never really been my type of defender. I do think this year's game in particular, you can use Navas, even with him being undersized and maybe not being the best defensive fullback. A lot of the times we're just overlapping. We're using and abusing, and we're keeping that on repeat. Kalulu, there's too many good options now. Karkawi, wow. Yes, 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 yes. Karkawi, yes. Karsdorp, there's just no place for him. Whose minutes is he taking? Keane, technically a left back or a center mid. I'm just pining him up all the time. That's what I do. I just pine up Keane. Kimmy is nice with it. You might be able to make a case that he should get out of Foot Champs and be in that rank 1. I'm going to have some re-ups on conversations. Kimpembe is good to go, surely for the weekend. If you want to do that, he could do it. Ledley King, a bit of a surprise, but I'm putting him in the debate for now. Kloster Thanos has done too much for our personal club. Ronnie, another goal-scoring center back throughout his career. The German, I don't even know if he gets into the debate. He's never used. You're forcing it at this point. Vincent, I still got too much love for Vince. Takes up space, breaks up plays. He's there. Koulibaly. Wow, what an upgrade. He's there. Getting close to broken. Might not be the easiest links. Koundé into the debate. He's got an upgrade, but it's a center mid item that I guess you would play as a center back, but it really wasn't a big upgrade from this item. If anything, they're hand in hand. Ali, she's in the debate as well. Good to go. Philip Lahm. And you know openly, I have not been the biggest fanboy, and I'm not talking real life. what he achieved throughout his career, his influence, national team, club level, versatility, utility position player, all the above. I just didn't like him in FIFA, or I didn't like him in FC. This is a big upgrade for him. I'm going to get him into rank 1. I'm not ready to go on the record books. I'd still prefer Cafu as a right back or Frimpong. I'm keeping the right separation. Everything logically lines up. Laudrup, big surprise. I used this man for a few weekend leagues. I have never gone up against a better Laudrup. There's never been a better Laudrup in any FIFA. So if anything, we learned that Laudrup now needs to be a fullback. Get him off the wing position or center mid or center forward or striker. Get him out of all that. Lord's kind of nice with it. She's probably foot champs ready as well. If you'd like to put her into the debate, I also hear that. She kind of got a cold-blooded image. She's giving you the shush. Vicente, at least foot champs. Maybe he gets himself into rank 1. He's still... The competition is ruthless for defenders, and it's a lot. Comes down to preference with a lot of these players. Lucio, my confidence is there for him. Rank 1. Maguire, happy to have that upgrade. It was a huge upgrade. I don't even think he's weekend league, really. It was big for him. It was big for the community. At least you got to see him used for maybe a month. Somehow this Frenchman's going to disappoint you. He has a lot of stats, and if anything, he might be more meant to be a center mid than a center back. I'm just going to leave him in the debate. You guys could talk to me about it if you like. Maldini, you treat him nice. You upgrade him the whole way. Broken all day, every day. Mangala's still been good to go for me. This could be a hot take, but I think he's another one of those players that was free RS, and he's put in a lot of work at the club. You could call me a lot of things, but you can't call me a liar. 125 games, all division rivals, all weekend league. Solid. And I'm telling you, this SBC was 7,000 or 8,000 coins. It was under 10K. You could splash that on screen. On record, Marquinhos, I'm not in love. Not my style of center back. I'm still giving him foot champs, 90 defending. I see him being used. Got the PSG link-up play, but Rafa Marquez, I think you're forcing it to use him this year. I'm not sure that he's on rotationals. A Mascherano, we're going to skip. If we're going to Bayern Munich into the debate, I don't really see the radioactive getting minutes, getting play time. McCabe, debate. She's got a lot of stats. There's a ton of them there. I read them, you read them. We can do that together, but not a needle mover. Mendy, I still think the 87 is at least rank 1. It's crazy. Even the 85. I mean, I prefer the 87, but surely they're similar. I use both of them still. They're not aging like normal players. If anything, I actually believe the 87, and it might be the only 87, could be the lowest rated player that we put into Broken. So I'm giving 87 Mendy to Broken, 85 Mendy to rank 1, and I think that's clear. Milinkovic, if you want to use him, go for it. Debatable. Can do it. Bobby Moore. Do we pine him? I know he's got the 99 dribbling, but he's just not. I like Mook, but I don't think he's going weekend. Nesta's a no-go. Always a no-go. I don't have the belief. Neville, tons of stats, but I don't know. Oberdorf, she's probably a rank 1 midfielder, but if we're playing her as a center back, she probably still offers too much. Just ridiculous stats, multiple play styles. As the game currently stands, she's offering too much to not be rank 1. Them play styles matter. Ogbonna, you could play weekend with them. I don't think there's a lot of hype, but you could. Olga, I picked her up. Used her a decent amount here. I will say this, on record, even plenty of the debate can make it into a weekend and you won't be disappointed. Ona to the top. I cannot believe the prices. On a side note with the team of the years, I'm sorry. I put out a video where we were looking at price points under 1 million coins. The majority of the players were 500,000 to 1 million coins. And I put a couple team of the years because they were right there. They were on the cusp and I was thinking they're going to drop. There's not going to be as much hype. And all the team of the year players absolutely skyrocketed. Unreal. Pepe, I think he'll surprise you. I truly do. Perisic, I still got a lot of love for him. He's got such versatility, but does he actually get into foot champs? Puyol, don't do it to yourself. It's a bad move. Bad play. Lodi's a sleeper fullback if you need one. I guess you would have had to do the SBC, but if you did the SBC, I don't think you're disappointed with Lodi. Renard, they all have to go up top, right? Like, surely all the team of the years have to go up top. Multiple play styles, there's some rarity, but you just have more stats. Ricardo, I'm not a big believer. I'm going to start getting even more harsh. Ruben Diaz, You know where I'm putting this individual. He's joining the squad. Risa, I gotta kind of play him as a center back or even a holding mid. As a fullback, he's gonna cause problems. Rijkaard's still fun for me, and I don't know if I just have a bias, but I'm putting him into debate. Robertson is good enough for the weekend, but there's so many fullbacks that I would prefer. That's the situation. Romero, Pine, Rudiger, yeah. Rank 1 Rudiger for sure. At least for yours truly. Saliba, I hate his price tag, but what's right is right. Ability-wise, rank 1. Been going up against him a lot. Schlotterbeck for me, a little bit of a sleeper selection. Scott, still weekend league good. Maybe has a hero bump. Skriniar, you can pass on. Ramos, I believe people are overvaluing. I like using him, but I still think he's more weekend league certifiable than maybe rank 1. But see, I would even put Kimmy up against him and probably roll with Kimmy. That's the situation. Thiago Silva, happy about the flashback, but he's probably not in your rotational. The debate is strong today. Yo, we have a lot of players. I think his versatility alone has to get him into at least foot champs. We're going the Leipzig route. Because if you think about it, he can play as a left back, a right back, and a center back all organically. That is rare. I would love to know if there's other players that can do that. He might be the one of one. Tamori, yes sir. Sometimes I put Rudiger just below him. They're both fantastic. You enjoy those players and their output. Trippier, I don't love him. I don't. I still think he has too many stats to not have maybe in the debate. Upamecano, I have full belief if you want a center back or if you want him as a right back. In both circumstances, I got so much trust and we've built up a rapport. Good with the Frenchman. Virgil van Dijk. Do we just make another category? When we do the review, I might be adding, if I can, a 5th category just because a couple of these players are just in a different world. Even the standardized Virgil, at least rank 1. I'm still using him currently, and I didn't feel as if we had some sort of fall off or that he's not competitive or he's not a difference maker. He just attacks the ball in a way and recovers in a certain manner, and the cadence and the way that he blocks shots, he's problematic. Varane, indeed, has to be rank 1. How could he not be? Vidic, kind of slept on. I'm going to give him foot champs, but in general, I think that he probably deserves a little more respect. Kyle Walker, amongst this group, difficult group, I'd still probably lean on him being a fullback over being a center back, but in both circumstances, especially if you play aggressively, annoying to go up against. And that guy's physical. He will win those 50-50s, those confrontations, those battles. Not the best attacker. Defensively, it's there. Williamson, nope. Yashin, oh, where do we put him? I believe Yashin's probably in the broken category. That Yashin is funky. He's weird. Zambrata, I love the guy. I just don't even know if this 86 gets burned now. Zanetti, I'll throw him in with Zambrata. And even Zinchenko, it's same scenario. Are they really taking minutes? If you're not a fan of them from a personal usage, if you're not a fan of the club, are they going to be your top priority this year? Let's get into a review. As for the Pine, typically it's not moving around a lot. I'm pushing Karsdorp over, Ricardo, even Bobby Moore at a 91. You just start thinking, surely he's done enough. I know that you have Campbell higher. I understand. I don't like him. It's likely you have Cordoba higher. It's likely that you have Camavinga higher. I did not enjoy Camavinga as a fullback. If anything, maybe a center back. He needs to be centrally located. I don't think we're moving this around. Do any of these players have to go up? I'm sort of tempted with Perisic. I love the versatility that you get. Tempted with Olga. These are big upgrades. She's definitely good enough for the weekend. Mook's done a lot for us when I've used him. I think he's been noticeable. We're going to have our first official movement. Mook's got to go up. That's a definite. Even Ledley, solid. Hector Bellerin, players are closing in. It was good value at the time. I think I'm going to stay strong against Diego Carlos. If we're talking about Acuna in a different position, I hate that Cannavaro's here. I'm not happy about it. I'm going to go ahead and give Olga a little extra pusher. I have her currently in the squad. She's been decent. Trent, same issue, same concern. As a right back, I don't have the same belief as I do as a center mid. Foot champs, what are we talking about? I don't believe that Bright goes up. I see the numbers. I still think she's in the right place. I like Kimmy a lot. Ramos, solid. Some of y'all will argue against Mangala being here. Understood. He's done wonders for our club. Is Ronnie still good enough? I believe that he is. Moving him up to rank 1. Vardiol, even at an 86, I think he'll surprise you. Gomez, He's still performing for yours truly. Quadrado, big fan. Depends what you need, but I'm a big fan. Cluster Thanos, fan. I might leave this here. This is probably a hard takeaway from you as Bacha. I just, defensively, I've always had questions, and she hasn't always had the answer. If we're just talking about offense, pushing the ball forward, whipping in passes, delivering, dribbling, responsiveness, it's a different argument. The overall package, there's better. Beyond broken. That makes sense. Virgil goes there immediately. Got a lot of confidence with plenty of these players. Even the gold Virgil maybe goes into broken now. Potentially joins that conversation. I think Teo has to go up. I've gone up against this Ferdinand 3 times now. That hasn't been fun. I'm just looking at what we have. It's a longer review session, but it's warranted. We talked about it. Yashin is weird. Ruben Diaz, big upgrade. I mean, the team of the years are going to front run this. Cafu and Maldini have to be here. Mendy and Bompastor are fitting. I like where Oberdorf is at. We're giving Virgil, Rio Ferdinand, Teo Hernandez their own separate category. Virgil has to have it. That new Rio is starting to feel like a Virgil. And Teo Hernandez is endgame, without a doubt. Those front 3, they win every matchup. There's no one that's even competitive. And then for me, Bompastor is clear-cut another notch above most fullbacks in the game. And if you're looking at a price point, what you're getting as a return of investment, outstanding. Let me know your thoughts. I feel like this could have got controversial. We added a new tier because why not? I appreciate all of you. And as always, we have a lot more content coming out ASAP. And if you want to get involved, we have a football storytelling channel. We also have a gameplay focused tips tutorials channel. And we have a brand spanking new finance channel. So completely different from the rest of the spaces, but I'm passionate about it and I'm sharing everything that I know with all of you. I appreciate you. Stay beautiful, my friends.